The massive view screen in Earth's Global Defense Command showed hundreds of unknown vessels appearing at the edge of the solar system. General Thomas stood with his hands clasped behind his back, watching as more ships continued to emerge from what appeared to be tears in space itself. "Sir, we're detecting over 500 capital ships and thousands of smaller vessels," reported Lieutenant Baker from his monitoring station. The room was tense, filled with the soft beeping of equipment and nervous breathing of the command staff. The ships were unlike anything humans had ever built. They gleamed with a metallic purple sheen, their designs both elegant and threatening. The largest vessel, presumably their flagship, was the size of a small moon. "All planetary defense stations are at full alert," announced Colonel Rivers. "The lunar base has activated its shield system, and Mars colony is going dark as per protocol." The intruders had bypassed all the early warning systems humanity had placed throughout the solar system. They simply appeared, like ghosts materializing from nothing, bringing with them humanity's first confirmation that they weren't alone in the universe. A signal came through on all frequencies in perfect English. "Attention, primitive world designated as Earth. This is High Commander Drake of the Galactic Empire. Your world has been chosen for integration into our magnificent empire. Prepare your leaders for immediate submission protocols." General Thomas straightened his uniform. "Get me the UN Security Council now." Within hours, the world's leaders gathered in an emergency session. The UN building in New York buzzed with activity as presidents, prime ministers, and military commanders rushed to address the situation. The meeting was both in-person and virtual, allowing for immediate global participation. "They're scanning everything," reported Defense Advisor Smith, pointing to the latest data streams. "Their ships are mapping our entire planet, our orbital installations, everything from our satellites to our ocean floors." President Anderson of the North American Alliance stood up. "What are our actual chances if this turns hostile?" The room fell silent. General Thomas cleared his throat. "Ma'am, we're not as helpless as they might think. Project Guardian is fully operational, though we haven't tested it against anything of this scale." The Chinese premier spoke next through the translator. "We should not reveal our full capabilities yet. Let them think we are primitive. It may give us an advantage." As if on cue, another transmission came from the Empire fleet. The holographic image of High Commander Drake appeared in the center of the UN chamber. He was humanoid but clearly alien, with gray skin and eyes that seemed to glow from within. "Your time to respond has ended. We detect your primitive gathering of leaders. The Galactic Empire brings order to chaos, civilization to the uncivilized. Your world will benefit from our rule. Resistance is not advised." President Anderson stepped forward. "We appreciate your offer. However, Earth is a sovereign world. We are not interested in submission or integration. We would be happy to discuss peaceful diplomatic relations as equals." The alien commander's expression shifted to something resembling amusement. "Equals? Your species has barely reached your own moon. You have no understanding of true power. We have ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. Your cooperation is not required for your integration." General Thomas received an urgent message on his secure tablet. The Empire fleet was deploying smaller vessels, heading toward various points around Earth's orbit. "They're moving to establish control positions," he whispered to the assembled leaders. "Standard Imperial conquest pattern, if I had to guess." The Russian president stood up. "Then we show them their first mistake." He nodded to General Thomas. "Show them why Earth is different." General Thomas pressed his command codes into his tablet. Throughout the solar system, hidden sensors and defense platforms began powering up. They weren't as primitive as the Empire believed, not by a long shot. "High Commander," General Thomas spoke clearly. "This is your only warning. Remove your forces from the Sol system immediately. Earth is a restricted zone. We will not submit." The alien commander laughed, the sound echoing through the chamber. "You have no concept of what you face. The Empire does not recognize your restriction. We will begin our integration process immediately." As the transmission cut off, General Thomas looked at the assembled leaders. They all nodded in agreement. "Very well," he said quietly. "Let's show them exactly why Earth declares itself off-limits." He activated his command channel. "All units, this is not a drill. Operation Watchdog is now active. Defend Earth at all costs." The first shots of humanity's war for independence were about to be fired, and the Galactic Empire was about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating the people of Earth. The Empire's first move was as predictable as it was arrogant. Their ships descended on Mars, clearly intending to establish a forward base to launch their invasion of Earth. What they didn't expect was that humans had been preparing for this moment for decades. Admiral James watched from the bridge of the hidden Phobos base as the Empire ships landed on Mars's surface. Through the reinforced viewing windows, he could see their massive vessels touching down on the red soil, their heavy landing gear sinking into the Martian dust. "They're deploying construction units," reported Officer Reed. "Looks like they're setting up standard prefab structures. No signs they've detected our presence." The Phobos base had been carved into Mars's largest moon, hidden from normal scans by advanced stealth technology. It was one of humanity's best-kept secrets, and now it would prove its worth. "Let them get comfortable," Admiral James ordered. "Wait until they've committed more resources." Hours passed as the Empire forces established their foothold. More ships arrived, bringing equipment and troops. They were building what looked like a massive command center, complete with communication arrays and defense turrets. "Sir," Officer Reed called out, "they're powering up their main communication array. Looks like they're about to establish a direct link to their fleet." Admiral James nodded. "Perfect timing. Signal Earth Command. Operation Sledgehammer is go." Across the solar system, humanity's hidden defense network came alive. Satellites that had appeared to be simple communication relays revealed weapon systems. Asteroid bases powered up their engines, and in the shadow of Phobos, missile silos opened silently. "All units report ready," announced Commander Peters. "Targeting solutions locked." Admiral James took a deep breath. "Remember, this is a warning shot. We want to show them what we can do, but we don't want to reveal all our cards yet. Execute." The first sign that something was wrong came when the Empire's shields flickered and died. Their advanced defense systems had been compromised by virus codes hidden in their own scans of Earth's primitive satellites. Then the missiles struck. They weren't conventional weapons. They were equipped with gravity drives that increased their mass 1,000-fold on impact. The first wave hit the Empire's construction units, crushing them into the Martian soil. The second wave targeted their ships, disabling engines and weapon systems with surgical precision. "Enemy forces are responding," reported Officer Reed. "They're trying to get their shields back online. 3 ships attempting emergency launch." "Activate the gravity net," ordered Admiral James. Hidden generators around the Mars base powered up, creating a localized field that made it impossible for the Empire ships to achieve lift. They struggled like flies caught in honey, their mighty engines useless against human ingenuity. The Empire commanders were now in full panic mode. Their transmissions, easily intercepted by Earth's systems, showed their shock at facing technology they thought impossible for a primitive world to possess. "Sir, the fleet is responding," said Commander Peters. "Multiple capital ships breaking orbit from Earth to assist." Admiral James smiled. "Send the message." The holoscreen activated, showing the Empire's Mars commander. His gray face showed a mixture of rage and fear. "This is Admiral James of Earth's Defense Force. Consider this a demonstration of our capabilities. You have 1 hour to evacuate Mars space. Any Empire forces remaining after that time will be destroyed." "This is impossible," the Empire commander sputtered. "Your world is pre-spaceflight. You can't have this technology." "Your intelligence is flawed," Admiral James replied calmly. "Earth has been watching the stars for a long time. We've learned. We've prepared. "We've decided that your empire stops here." The Empire commander's response was cut off as another missile barrage disabled their communication array. Around the base, Empire troops were already retreating to their surviving ships. "They're running," announced Officer Reed with satisfaction. Admiral James watched as the Empire forces fled Mars in disorder, abandoning equipment and supplies in their haste. The gravity net was selectively deactivated, allowing them to escape, exactly as planned. "Send word to Earth Command," he ordered. "Phase 1 complete. The Empire just learned that Earth isn't defenseless. Now they'll have to decide if they want to learn what else we can do." As the last Empire ship disappeared into space, Admiral James knew this was just the beginning. The Empire would return, and next time they wouldn't underestimate Earth. But that was exactly what humanity was counting on. The Empire's intelligence vessels hovered at the edge of the solar system, carefully analyzing every scrap of data they could gather about Earth's unexpected capabilities. What they found sent shockwaves through their command structure. Inside the Empire's flagship, Intelligence Officer Drake stared at the evidence with disbelief. "High Commander, these humans, they'd been studying our technology for over 60 years. A High Commander leaned forward in his command chair. "Explain." "We found records of crashed ships, sir. Not just ours, vessels from dozens of spacefaring races. Instead of reporting these crashes, they kept them secret. They studied them, reverse engineered them." On Earth, the truth was finally being revealed to the public. At a global press conference, Dr. Adams stood before the world's media, displaying technology that had been hidden for decades. "This shield generator," she explained, activating a device that covered the entire conference building in a shimmering blue field, was developed from studying a crashed scout ship in 1962. "We've improved it beyond its original capabilities." Across the globe, similar revelations were being made. Hidden facilities opened their doors, showing advanced technology that humanity had been perfecting in secret. Captain Miller and his special operations team approached the Empire command ship in their stealth vessel. The ship's outer hull was designed to absorb scanning beams rather than reflect them, making it virtually invisible to Empire sensors. "Remember," Miller whispered to his team, "we're here to plant the package and get out. No heroics." Their ship attached to the Empire vessel's hull like a remora on a shark. Using cutting tools reversed engineered from alien tech, they silently carved their way inside. The Empire crew never saw them coming. Miller's team moved through the ship like ghosts, their adaptive camouflage suits bending light around them. Years of studying alien physiology had taught them exactly where to plant their devices for maximum effect. "Charges set," reported Lieutenant Foster. "Ready for Phase 2. Miller nodded. "Execute." Throughout the Empire command ship, tiny devices activated. They weren't bombs. They were something far more devastating. Advanced computer viruses, created by Earth's best programmers using knowledge gained from decades of studying alien systems, began to spread through the ship's networks. In Earth's Cyber Command Center, Director Thompson watched as the attack unfolded. "The virus is adapting faster than their security systems can respond. We're in." Empire ships across the fleet began experiencing system failures. Their supposedly unbreakable quantum encryption proved vulnerable to attack methods they'd never imagined. Human AI systems, developed in secret and trained on alien computer architectures, tore through their defenses. "Impossible," the Empire's chief technology officer shouted as systems crashed around him. "Their computers are based on silicon. They can't be this advanced." But they were. Earth had spent decades preparing for this moment, studying every piece of alien technology they could find, improving upon it, and developing countermeasures. Captain Miller's team was already safely away when the Empire realized the full extent of the attack. Their command ship's database had been copied, their tactical plans stolen, and their secure communications compromised. Back on Earth, military leaders reviewed the stolen data with satisfaction. "They thought they were studying us," General Thomas said, But we've been studying them for far longer. The Empire fleet commanders held an emergency meeting. Their worst fears were confirmed. Earth wasn't just defending itself, it was revealing itself as a technological power that had developed in secret. Their shield technology exceeds our latest models, reported one commander. Their cyber warfare capabilities are unlike anything we've encountered. How did we miss this? The answer was simple but devastating. Humanity had learned the art of deception well. They had hidden their true capabilities behind a facade of primitive technology, waiting for the right moment to reveal their strength. In orbit around Earth, new defense platforms emerged from their camouflaged states. The Empire watched in growing alarm as humanity's hidden fleet was revealed. Ships that combined the best of human innovation with reversed-engineered alien technology. Send word to the Empire, the High Commander ordered. Earth is not what we thought. They have been preparing for us, or someone like us, for generations. As the message was sent, Earth's leaders prepared for the next phase. The Empire had come expecting to find an easy conquest. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, one that had spent decades preparing for this very moment. The real war was about to begin, and humanity was ready. The Empire launched their full assault on Earth with overwhelming force. Thousands of warships dropped out of hyperspace, filling Earth's orbital space with their massive fleet. The purple-hulled vessels formed attack patterns that had conquered 100 worlds before. They're deploying in standard Imperial combat formation, Commander Wilson announced from Earth's main defense center. She watched the tactical display as red dots appeared, representing enemy ships, just as their stolen data suggested they would. The Empire's first strike was meant to be devastating. A massive barrage of energy weapons and projectiles designed to overwhelm Earth's defenses through sheer volume of fire. Planetary shield grid activating, reported Lieutenant Cooper. Around the Earth, hidden emitters powered up, creating overlapping layers of energy barriers. The Empire's initial barrage splashed harmlessly against them, lighting up the sky in a spectacular display. Launch countermeasure batteries, Commander Wilson ordered. Let's show them our newest toys. From hidden silos across Earth's surface, special missiles launched. They didn't carry explosives. They carried quantum disruption fields. When they detonated among the Empire fleet, ships found their fancy energy weapons suddenly useless, their power systems fluctuating wildly. The Empire commanders were shocked. Their tactics had worked on every other world they conquered. But Earth had studied their methods, prepared countermeasures, and waited for this moment. Multiple enemy ships losing power, reported Officer Turner. Their formation is breaking. Commander Wilson activated the main communication channel. All defense platforms. Execute Operation Thunderstrike. Fire at will. Earth's orbital defense grid revealed itself. Platforms that had masqueraded as communication satellites transformed, deploying weapon systems that the Empire had never seen before. They fired strange projectiles that passed right through the Empire's shields as if they weren't there. What sorcery is this? Demanded an Empire captain as his ship's systems failed. The humans had somehow developed weapons that existed partially in another dimension, making traditional defenses useless. The Empire fleet tried to regroup to adapt their tactics, but Earth's forces were everywhere, striking from unexpected angles, using weapons and strategies that didn't follow any known military doctrine. The Empire had started this fight expecting an easy victory. Instead, they had found a world that had spent generations preparing for this very day, and they were about to learn just how dangerous humanity could be. From their hidden base in the Kuiper Belt, Dr. Roberts and his team watched as their latest weapon took shape. They had turned entire asteroids into weapons, not by breaking them apart, but by adding engines and guidance systems that could move these giant rocks at incredible speeds. Asteroid Unit 7 is ready, announced Technician Green. Mass drivers installed and tested. This rock can hit speeds that would make the Empire's best ships look slow. Dr. Roberts nodded, watching the massive screens showing their work. The Empire still hadn't figured out how Earth kept surprising them with new weapons. They didn't understand that humans had been stealing and improving their technology for decades. "Sir," called out Engineer Thompson, "the new FTL disruptor is ready for testing." This was their biggest breakthrough yet. Dr. Roberts had discovered a way to prevent Empire ships from jumping to faster-than-light speeds. The device created a field that made FTL travel impossible within its range. In the main command center, Admiral White received the update. "Begin Operation Starnet. Deploy the disruptors at all strategic points." Across the solar system, hidden platforms activated. Empire supply ships trying to jump into the system found themselves suddenly dropping back to normal space, far from their intended destinations. "Enemy supply lines are cut," reported Officer Davis. "Their main fleet is now isolated in our system." The Empire commanders were facing a nightmare. Every time they thought they had figured out Earth's capabilities, something new appeared. Their mighty ships were being hunted by asteroids that moved like guided missiles. Their supply lines were cut. Their advanced technology was being turned against them. "Launch the AI attack," ordered Admiral White. Earth's artificial intelligence systems, developed in secret and trained on stolen Empire data, began their assault. They were unlike anything the Empire had seen before, adaptive, creative, and absolutely ruthless in their efficiency. "Their automated defense systems are falling," reported AI Controller Mason. "Our systems are rewriting their command protocols faster than they can respond." Empire ships found their own computers turning against them. Weapons wouldn't fire. Shields failed at critical moments. Navigation systems sent them into dangerous positions. In their desperation, the Empire tried to push through Earth's defenses with brute force. They gathered their remaining ships for one massive assault. "They're coming in hard," announced Tactical Officer Turner. 300 ships in attack formation. Admiral White smiled. "Spring the trap." As the Empire fleet advanced, they didn't notice the small devices attached to their hulls, remnants of earlier battles that had been waiting for this moment. At a signal from Earth Command, these devices activated, creating miniature wormholes inside the Empire ships. "What's happening?" demanded an Empire captain as his ship's internal gravity went haywire. The wormholes were small, but they were enough to disrupt the delicate systems that kept the massive vessels functioning. Earth's defenders struck while the Empire fleet was in chaos. Weaponized asteroids smashed through their disorganized formations. AI-controlled drones slipped through disabled shields to plant more disruptors. Human ships, combining Earth ingenuity with stolen alien tech, struck at key targets. "Sir," reported Officer Davis, "the Empire fleet is in full retreat. Those that can still move are trying to flee the system." But there was nowhere to run. The FTL disruptors prevented escape through hyperspace. Earth's forces had turned the entire solar system into a trap, and the Empire had walked right into it. Dr. Roberts watched from his base as the battle concluded. "They still don't understand," he said to his team. "They think we just copied their technology. They don't realize we improved it." The Empire's mighty fleet, which had conquered countless worlds, was being systematically destroyed by a planet they had dismissed as primitive. Their rigid military doctrine had no answer for human creativity and adaptability. Admiral White sent out a general broadcast to all Earth forces. "Phase 5 complete. The Empire's main fleet is crippled. Prepare for the next stage. We take the fight to them." As recovery ships moved to collect the wreckage of Empire vessels, more technology to study and improve, Earth's leaders prepared for their boldest move yet. They had defeated the Empire in their own system. Now it was time to show the galaxy that humanity couldn't just defend itself, it could strike back. The Empire was about to learn another harsh lesson. Never corner a species that had spent generations preparing for war. Earth's counterattack began with a bold move that the Empire never expected. Instead of staying defensive, humanity's fleet jumped into Empire space, using their own improved version of FTL technology. Fleet Admiral Parker stood on the bridge of the EDS Defender, Earth's most advanced warship. It combined the best of human innovation with perfected alien technology. The ship's AI system was far more advanced than anything the Empire possessed. Multiple Empire defense stations detected, reported Navigation Officer Brown. They're scrambling to respond to our arrival. The Empire had never expected Earth forces to strike directly at their core worlds. Their arrogance had left their home systems relatively undefended, with most of their fleet trapped in Earth's solar system. "Launch our new ships," ordered Admiral Parker. "Show them what human engineering can do." Earth's vessels were smaller than the Empire's massive warships, but they were faster and more adaptable. Where Empire ships relied on brute force and size, human ships used smart tactics and advanced technology. "Enemy vessels approaching," called out Tactical Officer Reed. "Their formation is rigid, exactly what their military handbook says they should do." The Empire fleet moved in perfect formation, following tactics that had served them for thousands of years. But Earth's ships didn't play by their rules. They broke into smaller groups, using unpredictable patterns that confused the Empire's targeting systems. "They're trying to adapt," observed Officer Reed, "but their command structure is too slow. They can't change tactics without orders from above." Earth's ships struck from multiple angles, their weapons piercing through shields that had never been designed to stop them. The Empire's rigid military doctrine became their weakness. They couldn't adapt fast enough to Earth's fluid battle strategies. "Another Empire world is requesting support," reported Communications Officer Grant. "Their orbital defenses are failing." Across Empire space, the story was the same. Earth forces struck critical targets with surgical precision, using intelligence gathered from their earlier victories. Empire worlds that had never known defeat found themselves helpless against this new enemy. "Their planetary leadership is evacuating," announced Officer Grant. "They're running scared." Admiral Parker watched as another Empire defense fleet broke apart under Earth's attack. The Empire had spent thousands of years building their military on size and power. They never imagined they would face an enemy that could turn their own technology against them. "Sir," called out Navigation Officer Brown, "we're detecting unusual activity from several Empire worlds. They're trying to contact us." This was unexpected but not surprising. Many Empire worlds had been conquered centuries ago, forced to join the Empire against their will. Now they sought a chance for freedom. "Message from Earth Command," reported Officer Grant. "Multiple Empire worlds are declaring independence. Their local forces are turning against the Empire's central authority." The Empire's structure was breaking apart. Worlds that had been oppressed for generations saw Earth's success and found the courage to rebel. The Empire's military couldn't be everywhere at once. "Sir," called Tactical Officer Reed, "the Empire's main defense fleet is moving to engage us. 500 ships, their best remaining forces." Admiral Parker smiled. "Perfect. Show them our latest surprise." Earth's ships executed a maneuver that should have been impossible, using technology that combined human creativity with alien science. They didn't just beat the Empire fleet. They humiliated them, destroying their best ships with minimal losses. "Empire command structure is in chaos," reported Officer Grant. "Their worlds are choosing sides. Most are either surrendering to us or declaring independence." The mighty Galactic Empire, which had ruled for thousands of years, was being torn apart by a species they had dismissed as primitive. Their rigid hierarchy and inability to adapt proved to be their downfall. "Send word to Earth," ordered Admiral Parker. "Phase 6 complete. The Empire is breaking. Prepare for the final phase." As Earth's fleet pushed toward the Empire's capital system, Admiral Parker reflected on how far humanity had come. From hiding their capabilities to openly challenging the galaxy's greatest power, Earth had proved that creativity and adaptability were more powerful than size and tradition. The Empire had started this war thinking they would easily conquer Earth. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, one that had spent generations preparing for this moment. Now they would face the consequences of their arrogance. The final battle was approaching, and humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. The Empire's capital system was the most heavily defended location in the galaxy. Massive defense platforms orbited their homeworld, surrounded by the remains of their once mighty fleet. But even here, at the heart of their power, they couldn't stop Earth's advance. General Thomas stood in the grand conference chamber of the Empire's capital world, representing Earth in the final negotiations. The room was filled with delegates from hundreds of worlds, some Empire loyalists, others newly independent nations. The Empire's time of absolute rule is over, he announced to the assembled representatives. Earth doesn't seek to replace one empire with another. We offer a different path forward. The Empire's supreme leader, facing defeat for the first time in their history, sat rigidly in his ornate chair. His gray skin had a sickly pallor, his glowing eyes dimmed with the knowledge of defeat. What terms does Earth demand? The supreme leader asked, his voice heavy with resignation. General Thomas activated a holographic display, showing the new galactic map. First, Earth and its solar system will remain permanently independent, marked as a restricted zone for all foreign powers. The Empire representatives stirred uncomfortably, but none dared object. Earth's fleet hung in orbit above them, a constant reminder of how thoroughly their military doctrine had failed. Second, Thomas continued, all worlds within the Empire will be given the choice: remain with a reformed empire, declare independence, or join Earth's new alliance of free worlds. This was unprecedented. The Empire had ruled through force for thousands of years. The idea of giving worlds a choice was foreign to them. And what of our technology? Our military, demanded an Empire admiral. You may keep your current technology, Thomas replied. But Earth will maintain oversight of all military developments for the next 50 years. We've seen what happens when advanced technology is used to oppress others. The Supreme Leader's hands gripped his chair tightly. And if we refuse these terms, General Thomas's expression remained neutral. Then we finish what you started. Earth's forces have proven we can defeat your military. We would prefer not to demonstrate this again. The threat was clear. Earth's ships had already proven they could bypass the Empire's best defenses. Their weapons could strike any target in Empire space. The Empire accepts Earth's terms, the Supreme Leader finally announced. The words seemed to physically pain him. As the delegates began signing the peace accords, Officer Wells approached General Thomas with a datapad. Sir, reports from Earth Command. The transformation of our solar system's defense grid is complete. No one will ever threaten Earth again. Thomas nodded with satisfaction. Humanity had not only defeated the Empire, but had also secured their future. Earth's solar system was now the most heavily defended region in known space. Send word to Admiral Parker, Thomas ordered. Begin Operation New Dawn. Help any worlds that want independence to secure their borders. Make sure everyone understands. The galaxy is entering a new age. Across the former empire, change spread rapidly. Worlds that had been subjugated for generations tasted freedom for the first time. Earth's technology and methods were shared with those who joined the alliance, creating a new balance of power in the galaxy. The Empire's official surrender is being broadcast across all worlds, reported Officer Wells. Billions are celebrating. General Thomas watched as the Supreme Leader signed the final document. Earth had done more than just defend itself. It had reshaped the galaxy's political landscape. Remember this day, Thomas addressed the assembly, not as the day the Empire fell, but as the day the galaxy chose a new path. Earth will help those who want to walk it with us. As the Earth delegation prepared to return home, the Supreme Leader approached General Thomas privately. How? He asked simply. How did a single world defeat an empire of 10,000 years? Thomas smiled slightly. Because you gave us time to prepare. Every ship you crashed on Earth, every transmission we intercepted, every piece of technology we found, we studied it all. We didn't just copy it, we improved it. And most importantly, we never stopped innovating. The message was clear. The Empire had grown stagnant, relying on its size and tradition. Earth had proven that adaptation and innovation were more powerful than any empire. As Earth's ships departed the Empire capital, they left behind a changed galaxy. Humanity had established itself not just as a powerful force, but as a leader in a new era of galactic civilization. Earth had declared itself off-limits to the Empire, and in doing so, had freed the galaxy.